Hi guys, I'm back. Today we're going to do a little bridging series with the skateboard. Again, if you don't have the skateboard, don't worry about it. If you do want to challenge it, because with the skateboard, as it's moving, that's what kind of challenges the stabilizing muscles to work harder, which is why this is so great. But if you don't have one, you can use your socks for this one. It's great with socks because even if your legs kind of fly away from you a little bit, you have to use the muscles to keep them in. So really anything you've got to use for this is great. It's also going to be good if you only want to use the floor. Then we're going to go into some sit-ups on the skateboard. This is quite rough, this surface. So I'm going to use the mat on here just for a little bit of padding. If you don't have a chopped up mat like I have, you can just use tea towel, you can use anything really. For a lot of people doing bridge exercises, they end up feeling it in their lower back. If you do feel it in your lower back, I'll give you a few modifications, but if you've got, you can even use a shoe. You can use anything that you can put a water bottle. Hopefully you've all got a water bottle with you right now, like I have not. But if you put something in between your knees when you're doing bridges, often it takes the pressure off the lower back because your inner thighs have to work to hold it there. So try that first, and if that doesn't work, we are going to do a little bridge series with your feet to the edge of the skateboard and in a little external rotation, and that is always really, really good to get your glutes fired. So if feet closer together goes into your lower back, just keep them wide the entire time, yeah? I'm not going to use that mat for now, for the first one. So just take a lie down on your back. You're going to bring your feet, depending on the size of your skateboard, this is a kid's one. So I'm going to bring my feet right over the wheels. If you've got a longer one, bring them closer into just on the inside of the wheels. That is mainly for stability. So take your hands down by your side. Check that your kneecaps are pointing straight up to the ceiling. And again, feel free to put something in between your knees. If that means you're rotating in a little bit, bring your feet a little bit closer. Just make sure that your feet are even. Hands down by your side. You're going to start with the neutral spine, ribcage soft. Relax the back of your head into the floor and then take a breath in. As you breathe out, tuck your tail under and peel off the floor. Hamstrings pretty much kick in straight away. Roll it up and hold it here. You're aiming to get a straight line from your knees through your hips to your shoulders, ribs in. Yep. You can posteriorly tilt, so tuck under just a little bit. And if you push your arms down into the floor, it's going to help you lift your hips up a little bit higher. Take a breath in at the top. Can you see how much the skateboard really wants to move? So my hamstrings really have to work to hold it still. And then rolling down one vertebrae at a time. Roll it up. So this warm-up exercise suddenly becomes really, really challenging. Breathe in at the top. Breathe out, roll it down. For those of you that might want to add to the challenge, take your hands straight up to the ceiling. Roll up. And rolling down. The next time you roll up, you're going to hold it there. So your glutes, hopefully, are on. Remember, if it's in your lower back, you can either put something in between your knees or take your legs a little bit wider. I'm going to take my hands back to the floor and then lift up. Let's do some little hip thrusts here. Lower down, lift up. 8. 6. Keeping the ribs in, so you don't want to get to here where you're using your back. Ribs in, it should be hamstrings, hopefully, and glutes. 2. Lift up, hold it there. From here, you're going to try and keep your hips as still as possible. And you're going to take your right knee, oh my God, it already hurts, into tabletop and place it down. And left. And down. It's really hard, you guys. One more, each leg. And then lower your hips all the way down. Wow. Feel free to give them a little stretch. Gets right in there. You're going to take your feet now to the outsides of the board. You may have a flat board. Just make sure that your feet are even. Yep, otherwise one leg's gonna come up. So from here, you're in a little bit of external rotation. So you want your knees tracking over your toes. Think either 11 and 1 with your knees and feet, or 10 and 2. Preferably 11 and 1 here, just because the skateboard's base of support is not that big. Hands down. Just gonna lift your hips straight up. And then lower down. So if before you were finding that those exercises, feet parallel goes into your lower back, you're gonna do all of what we did before, except for the single leg lifts, out here. 2 more. Lift up and hold it there. Now push your heels into the skateboard. Push your arms down, soften your rib cage, hip thrusts. 10. Each time you lift your hips up, push your arms into the floor so you're active throughout your entire body. 3. And 1. And then slowly lower down. We're going to do one more while we're here. So from here, keep your heels where they are. You're going to rotate your knees in. Now your knees are touching. Big toes are pointing in towards each other. So some internal rotation. From here, hips straight up to the ceiling and hold it there. Whew. Again, you're trying to get a straight line from your knees. Keep your knees together. Lower down, lift up. 10. 8. 7. Keep that board still if you can. 6. 4. Ribs in. 2. And 1. And come on down, pulling your knees into your chest. Just give them a roll around. Feel free to give your hamstrings a stretch. And then come on up. So, depending on what kind of board you have, again, I'm going to use the mat just because this doesn't feel that great. You're going to take a seat on the skateboard. So when you sit down, you want to make sure that you've got some weight at the back. So I'm using my hand, otherwise, that's going to happen. Yeah. So equal weight. And then you're going to take a lie down. If you've ever done any work on a roller before, this is like going onto a roller. Yeah. So the way that I just got myself on here is not that comfortable. So I'm just going to put my elbows down and shuffle my butt a little bit further forward. And then my upper back fits kind of perfectly in that groove. Yeah. Interlace your fingers, hands behind your head. Curl your head and shoulders up. So what I want you to do here is bring your thumbs around your neck. It's going to help give you some support for your head. Here, you're just going to probably tense in your neck. Yep. So you really want your head supported here. Elbows just forward of your ears. Curl up. And then from here, one knee at a time to tabletop. And this right now is a great exercise. You don't even have to do anything. You're just going to curl up a little bit higher. Flatten out your lower abs, flatten out your rib cage. And now imagine your rib cage is coming in and down the front of your body. And you're going to do some toe taps here. Trying to keep the board still. For those of you that want to, you can go straight into both legs down. Ooh, and up. 4. 3. 2, flatten everything out. If it's going into your back, you go back to single leg, and we're just going to do 6 single leg extensions. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. Like that. You can do all of those abs for 30 seconds each. You can do single leg, you can do double leg, you can do double leg extension. Enjoy.